Good evening. Yeah. Welcome, Alka and Julie. I just talked to you, Julie. That's good. I see you again. Okay. Yeah, on our uh, personality development series, I'm going to talk about what's something important that people don't pay attention is what's called self-efficacy. It's slightly different from the self-esteem. Um, Self-efficacy is like a belief or our ability to be able to face circumstances and have the belief that I can solve this. I have the means and ability. Whereas self-esteem is something your overall feeling about yourself. Okay, so one is a feeling, one is a belief and ability that you could do. Many people don't pay attention to self-efficacy, and that's what we are going to focus on today. Because you may feel good about yourself, you may have some false esteem also sometimes. If not, you may have a real self-esteem, that you have the dignity, you have the ability of the being a human being and being in a particular country or particular community or particular household or particular institution, any of those things, right? They can contribute to the self-esteem. But if you look at yourself, and then you are given a task or some kind of mission that is given in your workplace or in the even in getting a wedding arrangement or a party or any of those, you should have the confidence that I have this ability, I can get over these things. A lot of people kind of shy away. Even on a public forum like this, they don't come and talk. And unless they come and talk, they will not be able to develop that efficiencies that are needed. I would love to have Julie come up here, Julie, and we can talk about this if you wish. But no pressure. Yeah, yeah. Julie and me are buddies for a long time, so I'm lovely to see her. And hi, Julie.
Hello, Dr. R. How are you doing?
Very, very good. Okay, good that you come up here. Yeah, this is something very subtle that we miss. But if you really recognize and say, okay, yeah, what if I fail now? I will get the training. I will get the ability to get over, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Self-efficacy is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of saying, in a way, that you have the ability to choose to be effective in any situation. That's what self-efficacy reminds me of.
Yeah. See, I was reading
self-esteem can be something that is relied upon from others.
Yeah.
Self-efficacy comes from the self.
Yeah, that's a beautiful.
Self-esteem is kind of gained from others, a community. And so, therefore, it's only really interpreted by you.
Yeah. I love the way you put it, Julie, the coming from other, the esteem, whereas your innate belief or feeling within you as you're efficient enough that you can do these things. And I think that's very well put. I actually made a couple of videos this afternoon on that. I'm going to bring them on Saturday to after the editing and all the time. Basically, what happens is with this kind of videos, I want them to be, presentable, not
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
Uh, so actually, I was reading a book by Albert Bandura. Maybe you know about him.
Pandora, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
he wrote that six principles of self-efficacy. You know,
Yeah,
so I kind of expanded on that, and then I was going to do that. Since I'm discussing this personality development, I thought I will do that because lots of youngsters, lot of people who are just starting the life, or people who are embarking on a new mission, they definitely need this.
yes. Oh, that's me. My hands in the air right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, even me too. I see my experience on the clubhouse, Julie. When I first
Yeah,
came in, I was, I mean, I wanted to say a lot, obviously, because I wanted to share, not to show off or anything, but just to
yeah, yeah.
share. Then I was overwhelmed. I was saying so many things so fast. People are really did not get it. It went over their head. It's not their fault. It is how I was expressing it, right? But
Yeah,
I did not back up. I said, okay, let me sit down. Let me write down. This was like 2.5 years ago. Let me say,
yeah,
because I'm used to talk for 1.5 hour, 1 hour as a physician, and I was always able to express myself, and but also there was no pressure of the time. They kind of a chief guest sometimes, kind of a main guest or arranger, something like that, right?
yeah, yeah,
So I was given a lot of time because the topics were kind of like that. It could be medical, it could be informatics, and then it could be spiritual. People really paid attention when there were deep issues, but they were interested in them, right? So they came.
yeah.
But in Clubhouse, they said you got to do everything within 30 seconds, 60 seconds. I said,
Wow, wow.
what? I open my mouth, it takes 30 seconds probably. And then by the time I do a couple of sentences, like in 90 seconds. So I took that as a challenge because other people are able to be brief and present their pitch or whatever because of the business, whatever. But then
Yeah,
I began to learn how to do this better. I think this afternoon you understood me better than if you were seeing me 2.5 years ago, right? That is the
yes,
self-efficacy I have now bred by just actually going and taking a chance and presenting myself and writing it down and then, you know, falling down and getting falling down like that.
yes, yes. Yeah,
So
been there.
yeah, I think it is relatable when I tell them that they're shy about talking about a topic or
Yeah,
express themselves. And also, some people like me who want to say so much, they may appear intimidating because they don't allow you to talk. They want to say whatever, and they have a lot to say, for example. That also intimidates us, right? Then I realized that. Then I began to ask them, what is that you want to contribute to this? What is that you
yeah,
want to say? And sometimes they are saying so out of the way, then I have to tell them this is the my experiences, this is what I read. Then they appreciate, okay? But they need to speak, they need to flounder or fault and then learn from it, is what I'm talking about, building that efficacy in themselves.
yeah,
Yeah. So
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah, so that's what I was going to do. I was going to bring those videos, two of them. I did them on the Pictory and have to edit them and have to see everything is okay. And then I'll bring them. But basically, we are going to talk about those 6 areas Albert Bandura wrote about. And we will go through. The first thing itself, he says about, well, you got to go through the experience, you got to take the hit, you got to take all the problems that you have while achieving this efficiency, and then just by experiencing it you will get the kind of skill, right? That's what here they were talking about. So
mm,
that's a very important aspect because my wife, for example, hi Jacob. So my wife, for example, yeah, we are talking about self efficiency, Jacob. that we get by undertaking something we never did. And then by accomplishing that, we kind of gain that belief or the ability. Yeah, I have the means to handle a task like this. I was relating my experience on the Clubhouse when I first came on this 2.5 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever. I was not able to be brief. I had to speak a lot but to explain myself. But then I took the challenge of 30 seconds, 60-second speech, and all that's what they gave. There were so many people used to be there. They said, no, you have to say what you have to say within 60 seconds. And then I kind of applied myself. I kind of wrote down the things that I wanted to say. And when my turn came, I kind of tried to finish within that 60-second time limit. And then I gained that ability to be confident about doing that. You see, that's what I was. I'm updating Jacob because he just joined us.
That's right,
Yeah. Julie is on the Wisdom app. She's a friend of mine, so we go a long way. So we were talking about this thing. So I was quoting Albert Bandura, who wrote about 6 principles of self-efficiency. I made a video based on that, couple of videos, part 1, part 2. I will bring them tomorrow to the room and present them for you guys to see.
That would be awesome. I hope we get that over in Wisdom as well, because that would be absolutely wonderful for me.
How do I paste in Wisdom? I never did this links. Where do I go?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Maybe in the chat or somewhere?
Because I presume if you're live, then it would record it, wouldn't it? And then you could download the recording and then put that wherever you wanted it to go, because you download it into your files, into your audio files, and it's there then, and you can transfer that. Pasting onto your website.
I would love to do that because a lot of people come on the Wisdom. Last time, 20 people came. So they could definitely use it. On the Clubhouse, not that many people are coming, but then I just leave it for the people who see the replay. That is there. Few people see, and also my people in India, they kind of go to those replays because for them, right now it is early morning, but then lots of times they're just waking up, 5:30 or so.
The other thing that I did, Dr. Rao, you did a talk recently, and I actually shared that talk onto my Facebook page.
Okay.
So sorry about that. That spread the word.
No, that's fine because actually I do the same streaming on 7 channels altogether. Wisdom is on my iPad, and this one is iAlka, and then Clubhouse on the iPhone, and on I have a Meta that is like a small TV-like thing. I can carry it anywhere from the Facebook. They gave it to me, try to write in the beginning, and that is a very convenient device. It looks like a small iPad or something, but actually it's very nice. On that, I go to the Restream, and through the Restream, I have this YouTube, LinkedIn, 2 Facebook groups, and Twitter, 5. So altogether 7 channels I stream every day because I think
that is awesome.
there are people who follow me in all these things, but I usually talk on the people with on the Clubhouse and on the Wisdom.
Can I ask you something, Dr. Rao?
Yeah.
When you've done these 2 videos, where are you going to place them, and where can I find them so I can watch the videos myself?
I upload to the YouTube sometimes, and I kind of paste them on the. There's a pinned link on the Clubhouse. I do that. Actually, I'm getting a team now. I kind of had a couple of virtual assistants. Probably they will do all these things much better. I usually get engaged by speaking and answering questions or whatever, right? That's what I like. But all this preliminary work, sometimes I don't have the time to do all that,
it's good to get people with that primary knowledge of how to do these things, absolutely well worthwhile, I'd say.
Yeah, other thing is I'm on a WhatsApp.
Have you got a YouTube channel then, Doctor?
Yeah, I have the YouTube, just Rao Kolusu is the YouTube channel. I have like a 300, 400 videos there if you want to.
Okay, I'm going to find that in a little while. So I think that'd be really helpful.
Yeah, Rao,
it would assist my self-efficacy.
I used to do yoga daily in the morning on the Instagram and YouTube, and people used to come and do them with me. But then I was not able to see them, but they are able to see me and then do the yoga. I thought it's not very helpful for me to guide them unless I see them. So I switched to Zoom. Now my students of my wellness club, they come in the morning. And then those are recordings also there, probably hundreds of them. But that's why it's intimidating to me, because the collection of me, they were done from 1985. So wow. So you can imagine. Probably I gained some self-efficacy of presenting some of these tough topics better, because doing them again and again, answering questions and all that. So let's ask our friend Jacob, what does he think about the self-efficacy and self-esteem? What do you think, Jacob?
I'm just having a good time listening. Okay. I mean, discipline is important.
Yeah.
That's my motto.
Yeah. Discipline is very, very important. Otherwise, you'll be going all out. See, one of the key principles of discipline is, apart from being regular, being on time, it is how much you are involved with what you're doing and how much that really aligns with your own inner values and, the truth and all that, Actually, there is a definition of discipline. Discipline is more like a, what do you call, learning. They say discipline is learning. It's not about just being ourselves being rigid or being forced to do something and all that. But when you learn something so completely, it automatically comes into. For example, you are not doing some tasks that you want to do every day by 6 o'clock in the morning, and you are not able to get up, and you are not able to focus, but you are also want to sleep off. Then you understand why that thing is happening, why I'm not able to get up. And also when you come in, you will say, okay, what about doing them by myself without being forced by anybody and all that. So, but the discipline that you teach the body, regularly doing things, teach them thought patterns to be in a certain way, all those things help a lot. So that's why these rituals that were given to tame the body, to tame the mind. Anyway, that's a good one Jacob pointed out about discipline. About this self-esteem and self-efficacy, I think Julie put it beautifully. If we are getting esteem from other people, that is the self-esteem we gain, whereas self-efficacy is our ability, our belief in our ability to solve problems and achieve a goal in time. So I was talking about Bandura's 6 principles. When he stated these principles have to be there to really earn the self-efficacy. The first principle he talked about was, when you really apply yourself to some new tasks and then go there and actually do them with that life experience, you gain a lot of confidence in yourself. That's apparent, right? So this is seen in the animal world too. Yesterday I was talking about this, the pupa that comes out and then becomes the butterfly. At the last stage of the pupa, before it turns into the glorified, wings and flies away as a butterfly, it really goes through tremendous hardship. She has to break down some fibers and break herself out of the pupa. And the scientists who were studying that, they thought they will help the butterfly to come out quicker. So they cut those fibers to make it easy for it to come out. But then when it came out, it could not fly because that effort that it put in overcoming those small fibers, it gave that ability for it to fly. Okay, so I thought that was a very, very good analogy. For example, our children, for example, they are taking small steps in the when they just first get up and then try to balance them and fall down and then get up and go. So we are supposed to watch carefully, but not to assist too much, because the more they make an effort to do by themselves, the quicker they run and they walk and all that. Even when we are bringing up the children, if you make them get everything easy, the rich parents usually give everything to the kids, saying that we want our children to be easy and all that. They actually don't learn how to develop the capacity to deal with situations where there is nothing, no materials, thing that they can get, and they are spoiled in a way, right? So that is also an important point we have to understand. So there are ways we can allow a kid or a youngster to develop this self-efficacy, that is the ability to do things on their own, or the confidence that they have this ability, and if it's given to them, they will do that. That kind of thing comes with our training and our assignment of things for them, so that they will experiment and not afraid to fail, and they learn the experience of the failure and then convert into some skills that they can acquire. Okay, Alka, what do you think? You want to say anything about it? I'm sure she has something. Okay, there are other people here. Let me see on the wisdom app. Okay. Oh, Lois is here. Lois has a lot to say on that too. Lois, if you want to come up, So that efficacy is so important. It builds on itself, right? It may not be too much in the beginning for people, but as they are taking up new roles, new technology, new skills, everywhere this is self-efficacy is something that comes into our life. So knowing this, how I approach it is, for example, I am playing with a lot of programs in the artificial intelligence, right? So I kind of do the content and do the designing, do the movies and all that. All I learned in the last 3-4 months, So I'm not intimidated or I give up easily, So that's when your efficacy grows up, because obviously at this age I don't need to learn that. I would just talk to people and spend time, and then I'll be okay. But then creativity and want to get involved in life and not to take it easy and spend in the senseless entertainment, all those things are there, right? So as you explore any new technology or any new language, and this principle of self-efficacy works pretty good. And if people only can really bring themselves to that particular detail of what is going, instead of shying away or just not willing to attempt something, if they can apply themselves, that will be much better. Yesterday we talked about these kids who were not able to resist eating a marshmallow. The story was this scientist was experimenting with the kids, but the kids didn't know what it is. They're kindergartners, 4 or 5 years old, and he was playing with one by one. And at the end of the game, it's a short game, he's a puppeteer. So then he said, okay, you won. I'm going to give you one marshmallow. I'm going to keep it here in front of you. but I have to go out and get some errand and come back. And if you can wait for me till I come back, I will give you a second one. Then you can eat two of them. But if you don't eat and you eat this marshmallow, then I will not give you the second one. Okay, so they are picturizing these kids' body language and everything as they yeah, as the whole thing is happening. And the kids are very difficult for some of them to resist not to eat that marshmallow. And some people resist, and other people they just eat it up. Okay, so the one who waited for him gets the second marshmallow. But the story doesn't end there. They went and followed these kids until they became teenagers or later, and then saw who has developed into various things in life, who have achieved what and all that. What they found was the kids who waited for the person to come back and not eat that, they were able to achieve a lot more in their academic, in their athletic, in their social, all spheres of development, personality development, they were able to do better. Whereas the other person who were yielding to those temptations of themselves, they did not develop that self-efficacy. So that's the point of the story. I think it's a very subtle point. I think we all know about it. The more we work, the more we take action, the more we take risks, the more we will develop this self-efficacy. So that's what I wanted to present. As I said, I have the movies made on this particular topic. I'll try to bring them and then make sure that people are seeing them too. They are much more elaborative on principles and much more illustrative so that you can. But I would like to have people ask me questions, then I can talk more about it. You have any questions, Jacob, Alka, or Lois, or Julie, or whoever is there on the Wisdom app? Hello, anybody?
Bonjour.
Yeah. So, any questions? Anything?
No, just enjoying my Friday evening, and yeah, it's just great to be here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's almost half an hour. I think we were talking about this. Yeah, somebody's coming here. Let me see what it is. Yeah, Julie coming back. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, Julie.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Before we get to the stage of self-efficacy,
yeah,
is there something that may stand in the way of us feeling that self-efficacy? So is there something that may...
Yeah, it is. It's a pretty deep, actually. It could be simple thing like getting up and walking as a child, and later on in life, when you really have fundamental, deep questions about who am I, what is this all about, what is death, that kind of existential, deep questions, you cannot reach for anybody. You got to put those questions to yourself, and you cannot reach for the historical, traditional statements or books or anything, but you got to explore your interior by yourself.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's why this is like a training to face life in several phases. Okay, so the sooner you realize, I got to do these things by themselves, the reward is I gain so much ability. See, if you look at it, we look for answers from outside or from somebody else all the time.
Yeah.
See, one of the biggest.
We do that too. We kind of do that sometimes, I think, to kind of give ourselves some kind of, it's okay. It's almost as if we ask others to confirm. It's like we need to confirm what we are thinking, or or how we're kind of actioning something is correct.
You're right.
Whereas I think self-efficacy is about trust in your own abilities.
It's a kind of a little lazy too, don't you think? Without admitting, I don't have to do everything. Somebody else has done it. Let me follow it. They're okay. They're okay as far as the outward things are concerned. Okay, for example, somebody had a best practice about a engineer system or sewer system or road system, whatever it is. I think that's okay. You can follow that and all that. But not everybody had to be inventors and all that. But in terms of our inner way, how we feel about ourselves, how much really confidence we have about ourselves, this laziness about not asking deeper questions by ourselves is really unfortunate, because you go so much more into, for example, you are there, Jolie, when you are alone, you want to question something and you want to stay on that question, don't you?
Yes. Yeah, I often just contemplate. I do a thing called contemplation, which just involves me, really.
That's the correct word. Contemplation means you are going to meditate, or kind of going to stay there on that question without jumping to quick answers. Then your thought will take you much deeper. And the deeper you are thinking, the deeper you are going to find by yourself the answers. And then they will really nurture you. And then you become stronger to ask much deeper questions next time.
Yeah, it's like a little journey, isn't it? It's like a discovery of oneself.
Yeah, exactly. Discovery of oneself by inquiring into ourselves.
Yeah.
Self-inquiry,
And then maybe trusting that the actions that we take are from us. So trusting that the actions we take,
even parenting,
the thing that we need, it's the thing that we're going to learn from, it's the thing that we're going to grow from.
Even parenting, if you allow the kid to think for himself or herself, she will get better at that, But if you give a quick answer, or shut them down, or shun them like you don't know anything, just listen. Yeah, we do for them. That is an injustice what we can do for them without really, maybe we are loving, you think. Even in my household, my wife is always indulging both kids and always, trying to do everything for them. So we had to actually fight with her, me and my kids. No, don't do that. We will do that. But she will, of course, she will spoil me and spoil them too all the time. So we had to fight with her.
We think it's kindness of love, don't we?
Yeah.
We think it's kindness of love. They don't have to suffer like I did.
I mean, it's a loving atmosphere, but still, some of the things we cannot learn unless we are left alone to do by ourselves,
Yes. And that's where the efficacy is realized.
Yeah.
It's made real.
Yes. Make real, that's true. Because if you have hurdles, for example, and you are going over the hurdles, you are getting a lot of leg strength, and then you are able to do that by yourself. But somebody takes it and then gives a ladder, you climb and go over the hurdle, and then you do that, you will not. But this inner matters are much more subtle and much more easily be clinged on to. So if somebody is indulging you in that kind of spoiledness, then the other person may think that I'm loving, I want something nice to happen to my wife or whatever. You may rob them this efficacy that they will gain if they do on their own. If you look at the military families, most of the kids that come from the military families, they are very able to do everything by themselves. They can go to the school, they can do the farms, they can do everything They are not shy. They can present themselves and all that, so what Jacob was talking about, the discipline was there because they get up on time, they do things on time, and they are very punctual. And many of the military family, because my brother was a lieutenant colonel, okay, and so he was like a 16 years older than me. I'm the seventh of our family, right? I was the last kid and he was the first kid. So he kind of brought me up, okay, kind of, so for example, he used to have this scooter, the scooters, it's called Lambda. It's a big scooter. And then we both used to go and clean it up. But the way he cleaned was so meticulous, so quick, so fast and focused. First he will rub all the dirt away and then apply this paste and then foam pressure and all that. So I learned doing things completely because he let me do it. Okay. For example, our house was a very big house. We had so many rooms on the first floor, and then they built a few more rooms on the upstairs, right? And he wanted to paint all those doors. Then he made me and my sister, we are both kids, even though we are very, very young. He made us go through with the sandpaper and then rough them, all that, right? That was very unusual in India. Nobody gives any chores to the kids. so they consider it a punishment. It's not a child labor. It's like teaching them to be, at that time, I never saw many of my other brothers and sisters doing anything. My mom, other people preparing everything, and these people just eat and go. They have no chores. They just go and study. Of course, everybody did very well. But we last two, we got this military training where we are disciplined in the sense without being punishing or anything. Just go through the stuff, and then we kind of know him very well. And whatever he
knowing
said,
the process. It's knowing the process. You've been trained to know the process, a way of starting and middle and ending. That will go with you. That's a multimodal skill that you can globally apply.
This happens in the morning with my wellness club, the students that come, right? I am doing my yoga because I was taught by BK's Iyengar. He is very meticulous, He goes through one asana and describing the asana one step at a time, right? For example, standing itself is considered one posture. Tadasana, they say it. Okay? And he will say, bring your feet together, make your toes, soles, and heels are clutching the ground, and pushing the ground down. And now pay attention to the kneecaps and tuck them such a way you feel the pull in the calf muscles. Then contract your buttocks, contract your lower abdomen, then square your shoulders, and then keep the fingers on the side straight down, like that. He will describe every little bit in that asana, right? The thing is, if you really do them that meticulous, what happens is your body gets the muscles that you never knew are working.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So
you get to recognize that you have muscles.
Yeah, you have them.
Those places.
Yeah. So when I go that meticulous, some kids cannot keep up. Some of the students then say, "You're too tough, doctor." But I'm describing like I did this now. But then they don't want to, involve with every step of the way. But then.
If you don't get the whole process, if you don't describe the whole process, you're not going to get the experience. You're not going to get the evidence there.
Yeah.
It's unanimous. If everyone did it with those steps, they would all feel the same thing.
There is this facility in India, Julie, and run by this particular yoga master, and he had millions of followers around the world, right? And many of the volunteers that come to him, or a student, they come to learn, and then after that they are very impressed because he does everything for them, right? Teaching and all the questions, anything. So they remain as volunteers in that ashram. And one journalist came to that place one time, and she was talking to this gentleman, and she said, how come everything is so meticulous here? Wherever you go, it's all well manicured, ordered, and all that. But so many people are going through this place. What's the secret? Then he said, if you practice yoga and that seeps into other activities, you are more disciplined because you are not really swaggered by other things. Other thing he said was, I don't pay anything for them, but they do it because I make them love me.
That's so awesome.
Then they said, oh, how do you do that? Then he said, I first fall in love with them.
Oh, that's so lovely. That is so lovely. And it's so true. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's so true. Yeah.
They don't feel it is discipline because they are imbibing all that. At 5 o'clock, they wake them up, and then they make them do all this. Their teachers, they make them do this with them, and then they have other things they do. But whatever they do with complete attention.
Yeah, I know they do it, and they feel honored to be able to. Yeah.
It's kind of a beautiful way of teaching people about love them first, and then give them whatever you can give them, and then also meet them at their pain points. And once they resolve, they will not go away from that.
That's it. Yeah, they will show their efficacy. Actually, they will do their what they feel they can do comfortably.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of this personality development is about really understanding the instruments that we have, the body and the mind, and then develop such a reactionary way of doing everything, and finally discarding that personhood, and then jumping into the spiritual bliss.
Thank you, Dr. Ray, for having me up. I'm still listening to you, and I really appreciate you very much.
Yeah. I'm almost done because I think we are almost coming to the end of the hour. And so everybody is listening. And thank you for coming and participating, Julie. And I will end the talk here. If nobody has any other questions, they want to come up or talk. There are some 8 people there on the wisdom. I don't know how many on these other channels. So I will see you guys again tomorrow. I promise I'll bring that video, and people can see the video, and you'll have a lot more stuff you can talk to me about. Okay? All right. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Okay. Thank you, everybody, on the Wisdom app.